the YouTube page channel. They can log in on Hardbody Radio, www.hardbody410.com and listen in, or they can download the app on their phone. Usually have all that shit written in the thing, but everything was right.
It's all on the flyer.
Yeah, I put it all on the flyer, but most people
I just said it.
They don't read it.
Right. There be people I send the flyer to and it's like, oh, how do I watch it? I'm like,
no, this is what I like.
read the flyer.
This is what I like. What time?
Why don't you
I don't know what this is playing. It's not what I played.
Alright, don't touch it now.
You gotta hit go live before they'll do it.
It's in the spotlight with your girl Lisa, the Baltimore Paparazzi. Like I said last week, I wasn't sure if I was going to be here this week. Told you I never know what I'm doing. But
You're gonna be here. I like what you said.
no, I didn't know if I was going to be here because I had my family reunion today. But my mother-in-law, she hit me. She was like, we're canceling because the weather's going to be bad. But then my daughter called me today and said, are y'all coming? Because Daddy said he was setting up for the family reunion. So I don't know what's going on the Eastern Shore. But I'm here. What I did was I reached out to Billy Live, and you know me and Billy go back a few years, and he's got a networking event coming up on Tuesday. So I was like, look, put the word out. Any of your artists that are performing that want to come through, talk about, you know, music, play some music, hit him up. So talked to him. He gave me a list of people, and like I said, before we got on air, I said, he told me that his Facebook name is Michael Singer. And I was like, who is that? And I looked, and it's Blizz. I've known Blizz for a couple years because of Prophet.
Yeah. Shout out to Prophet.
Yeah, because I've seen him. Actually, I was at the show, was it Spartan Inn, or whatever it is, down that little cut. Yeah, down there. Like I've seen you, you know, a few times. You was in the video with him, Hooli, and yeah. So you know, it's like like I said, I was like, I know who that is. Goes by Relloe now. I called him J Rel. He came through, and then we have this young lady right here. Is Amzilla. Amzilla. So, you know, these three artists came through, and I appreciate it. So, I don't do interviews. This is not an interview to me. I call it an interview because that's what everybody wants to call it. It's conversation with friends.
Right, kick the bobo.
Yeah. So, what I do is we have a conversation. We'll go completely off topic, but we always come back around the music. That's the way it always is. So, you know, like I said, Blizz, you've been in the music scene for a while. I know that for a fact. So, I haven't seen you for a while. This is like when I seen your name on the flyer, I was like, yo, really? Blizz is back?
Yeah.
Of course, you know, the music scene is so big anyway. You could have been on like 15 shows and I wouldn't have known it because this scene really is that big. So so how'd you hook up with Billy as far as this situation?
Man, I tell you what, I knew Billy from back from a dude named Frank Lewis.
Yeah, I know EC. I call him EC.
Yeah.
Motherfucking Frank Lewis.
Yeah. And
yeah, that's how I know him.
I've been actually, Frank used to get some real good venues. He would get the Rams Head. You know, I've done that with them a few times. Billy was actually an act on that, and sound stage and things like that. So when Frank reached out to Billy, Billy went and did his own thing. And when I see him promoting shows and shit, I had just come home from jail.
Yeah.
And,
I was gonna let you say that because you know, I mean, I wasn't gonna.
Nah, everybody know what it is. That shit ain't no secret. You know what I mean? Like I don't glorify it or like I'm not proud of what happened or whatever. But situations happen, man, and we can't change what happens.
Right.
So it is what it is at the end of the day. But when I came home, my first night out, I wasn't home but 2 hours, and I was doing a show.
Damn! I thought you was gonna tell me you was in the studio. I was like, nah. He went hard. He went right straight to a show.
I had the camera crew meet me at the jail, and when I walked out the gate, they had my T-shirt and all ready, and we started getting it from there. You know what I mean? And same night, I went out. I did a open mic. I think it's somewhere up by North Avenue. It's I can't even tell you the name of it, man. I just went because I was itching.
Well, let me see. There's the wind-up space, and then there's the Club Depot. The Depot, which is right there on Charles.
It's not neither one of them, yo. It
must be something.
It's got like a Jamaican flag.
Oh, St. Mary's.
That's it.
St. Mary's restaurant right there on Howard and
but they
25th.
do open mic and stuff up there, and I just went up there to get it out because I had been when I came home I had like 180 songs written. You know what I mean? And like I just wanted to go, so I went up there and did that. And the very next show I did was with my man East Cool. Shout out to all my TNR niggas, East Cool and Big Grizz. They had a show with Billy Live.
Right.
And I went and did that, and then that's when I politiced with Billy and been howling at him. So like Billy's a good dude, you know.
He really is, and you know, and like I said, I ran into Billy back. Remember the Black Hole Club out Dundalk? Yep. I was out there one night, and this guy was going around putting flyers and these CDs on the bar. And I looked at him. I said, "This you?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "All right." Never listened to CD. It's still in plastic and everything. It was Billy Live. And years later is when I realized that was him and everything. Now,
is it still in the plastic?
Yeah, I ain't listened to it yet. It's gonna be worth some money one day. I already know. I got Relloe. Now I know that you've known Billy for years too, because you used to do his R&B little, what was it, concert? I mean, Concrete Love.
Concrete Love.
Yeah, you used to, and you know, I know you do. Like, I met you through music.
Yeah, you know, I was like 16, 17.
Right. So that's why I said when you came in, I was like, I feel like I watched you grow up.
Yeah.
Like when you had your daughter, I was like, oh my God. Like it was like one of my, when my kids had their kids, and I'm just like.
You used to come to everything. You used to be at all the shows back when YG was running.
Right. I still got my I'm a Trap Girl shirt.
I believe it. Millie actually, he probably re-dropped that song. You feel me, on the low, like on the humble. But,
right.
You know, everybody doing different things, different avenues.
And what I like seeing is that you guys are still just as tight as you were, because like you see a lot. Well, I do, because I'm a people watcher. I watch so much in the scene, and it's like people who were so tight back, 2009, 2010, and they're not now. I mean, I have that going on too. There's people that I was tight with, and I wouldn't piss on them if they was on fire.
Right.
But
I know them since I was, you feel me? Like Millie brought me in the game. Like when I first started doing music, you feel me? That's what I got with.
Yeah.
And from then on, we just been tight. Like we all live in the same area. You feel me? One phone call away. Like it's nothing like that. It's no bad blood, no nothing. Like that's my brothers. We love each other. We still cool. Like that's how we rock. That's how it was back then. Like
right.
We always been down. You feel me? That's always been us.
Let me tell you, Mark had when I lived on Poplar Grove, Mark would come to my house to give me CDs that I still have.
Everywhere, all the way around the city. Whoever wanted something, we'd take it to.
Right, and that's like I say when he had that song, I'm a trap boy, and my daughter had a shirt and so did I, and I still have it. It says I'm a trap girl, and it's got Lisa127 on the back.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, we used to do all the shows down the Black Hole, down Sonar when Sonar was Sonar, all that stuff.
Yeah, and like I said, you were on the Concrete Love shows, and I don't know if he's gonna bring those actually back or not, but it'd be pretty cool to have them back because it was all R&B.
I'll bring it back.
I know.
You feel me? I'll be the one to bring it back if you want to do that.
Right, and when I seen you on there, and you was like, I was like, oh yes, finally, like yeah. So are you doing R&B? You doing mixture of some stuff, or?
I'm always singing. You feel me? This show, you feel me? It's all my new stuff. You feel me? I'm performing my new single that's coming out. So. Yeah, we gonna stick to just a straight and singing for right now, but Buzz is still around.
I already know. I already know. Come on in. Sneaking in the door. So, and Amzilla, you're a new face to me.
Yeah. I am very, very fresh to music. I just did my first performance in a mansion about a week or two ago. The way I met Billy live was actually through The Love of My Life, a Kid Classic.
Okay.
I was going to a bunch of his shows, just getting lit in the crowd, and Billy Live came up to me and handed me his card. He was like, I don't know what you're about, but I like your energy. Hit me up. I was like, alright. So the whole time I'm going to these shows and my whole message is coming up from the crowd because I got to learn about music and about performing and about the love for the art through watching from the crowd. And you know, my man the whole time was like, you're a rapper, you're a rapper, you're a rapper. And I'm like, I don't know, you know. And he said, you gotta try it, I'm telling you right now, you can do it. I'm like, alright. So I hop on it. As soon as I recorded my first song, I hit up Billy Live and I was like, I'm ready to perform. I want to perform. Like, do you have anything coming up? He's like, I have something coming up in about a week and a half. Can you be ready? I said, I will hit the studio, record any song I need for that show, and we're set. And so that's what I did. And now I'm ready.
That's awesome. It's like, you know, and it's funny that I have two what I consider veterans in the music, right here, and then here's this newcomer, you know, you know. So it's always fresh to see new faces for me. And now it's like nowadays I can't go to a show and like most time I go to a show and I don't know anybody on the damn card, and I'm just like, at one point in time I knew just about everybody that was performing. Everybody that was, you know, coming on stage, like, I knew who they were. And then, like, all of a sudden, like, everybody is a rapper. And you can throw a rock and you're going to hit somebody who raps. And I'm just like, whew, okay. So, but then again, I haven't really been out at the scene like Relloe was saying. Like, at one point in time, you see me Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Be a Black Hole, Bourbon Street, 5 Seasons, Sonar. You know, it was always something going on. It was always a show to go to. It was just moving.
What's going on with the 5 Seasons?
5 Seasons has been closed for about, what, 2 years now? Solomon was trying to get a long-term lease, but the owners of that plaza wouldn't give him one. After he did all the work inside of it, he remodeled it and everything. And I don't know what they're doing with it. I'd like for it to be turned into another like 5 Seasons because it's so centrally located.
Right.
You know, like
that shit was perfect.
It was.
For what it was, when the right people was getting their hands on it, it was something to go to.
I had my showcases in there for just over a year, and it got to the point where I didn't have to pay Solomon anything because he was making so much money at that bar. My one show where I had. You know, I had Ooh was hosting for me, and Brownfish performed. Love Peace Project was a band. They were performing, like that place was packed like it was, you know, the Crown Awards. You could not move in there. We had young people in there, old people in there, and everybody was having a good time. And it was just a beautiful sight to see. And like my shows, there was always a good crowd. You know, it's just unfortunate, like the incident happened and the young man, you know, ended up losing his life, you know, because of the beating that happened. So
I heard about that.
What was crazy was it was only like 10 people in the whole building. You know, it was a free event. It was like 10 people by the time it happened. It was only like 10 people in the building. It was some street stuff. He just came home like just a few weeks before. They got him in the bathroom. He was still alive when the ambulance came and got him. And then he lost his life.
The last show I did at the 5 Seasons was for Tyree Coyote.
But you know, 5 Seasons. We've slowly lost a lot of, like, every venue that I just named is no longer there.
Right.
I mean, Sonar, like everybody's like, that's Paparazzi.
Nah, that shit's Sonar.
But
they don't know about that. That shit's
right.
Sonar.
It's crazy though, because as the artist from Baltimore, like, man, this is what we do. So, like, I don't know, man. Something gotta be done before we can't perform nowhere. And like, that's the thing. Like, I go out of state and shit, and when I do, I'll never forget, like, talking to one of the promoters and shit. And he had said, you know, a lot of people ain't on from Baltimore because people are afraid to invest their money in them because they say that will either be dead or in jail before something pops and they get their bread back. So they're scared to invest in us.
Yeah, I've heard that numerous times from people that because of everything that goes on in the city, and well, while there is a lot of good things that happen in the city that don't get shined on,
right?
You know, it's always the negativity that always gets shined in the news.
But that will always be what they look at.
Right. That's because that's what gets ratings.
And that's what sells.
Right. But like the venues, right now you have the wind up space, but I think that's more like you got to know somebody to know somebody to know somebody. Right. The depot's a little. It's a nice spot. Awesome drinks, but it's a tiny spot and there's no stage. You know what I mean? And it's probably just a little bit bigger than this room.
I know. I know Prophet been doing a lot of shows out of the vanity room.
Yeah, a lot of people doing that. A lot of people been doing stuff out of the vanity room, but to me, I think because for a long time I didn't have a vehicle. So if I didn't get a ride, you know what I mean? So I think about it in that aspect, you know. That's why I said Five Seasons was perfect.
Right.
You know, Bedrock was another place. Remember Bedrock up there, across from the Hippodrome? It's some club now.
Never been there.
I don't know what it is now, but
it was.
You saying shows back? They said hella shows. Remember the what's the RL Hotel downtown?
Yeah.
The Belvedere Hotel.
Yeah.
They used to have Industry Monday and shit.
They had we had the basement, which was the suite or whatever, and they had all kinds of shows down there. And then the 13th floor sometimes would have some shows if it was a little bit high class or whatever. Around the corner was called, what the hell was it called?
Eden's Lounge.
No, it was still attached.
Maple.
No, it was Red. I can't remember what it was called. But you had the Red Maple because you guys were doing a lot of shows there too. Eden's Lounge was another place that people were doing some shows at, and it's just like when I look back, just 2008 when I started coming and doing shows. Y'all come on in. Oh, okay, how y'all doing? But I look back at 2008 when I first coming in. We had Turntable Club, Fletcher's. Like the list goes on and on and on. And then like so now artists are looking and they're like, there's really no place unless you're gonna go to a, you know, it's almost like we starting all over again with the hole, basically like a hole in the walls. And it's just, I don't know if it's because, well, I know why we don't have a lot of places. The city decided they were going to try to shut everything down.
The city don't want nobody to have nothing around it. The city don't fuck with us like that. As much as they want to claim it and all that phony shit, the city don't fuck with us.
We don't make them money.
Oh, let me tell you, exactly. I was working for Soundstage by doing promotions. I was passing out flyers, you know, posters and stuff like that. And I was told by people that worked there that they didn't like local hip-hop events because they never made any money. And I'm like, I'm confused. One night it was a hip-hop show, and I'm standing outside. You know how they always have a barricade off so everybody can go smoke or, you know, come outside, get air. Police walked up. What's going on tonight? They said it's a hip-hop show. Well, everybody can't be outside. They got to go inside. Y'all can't be outside. The next night I rode past there, and it was a white event. And it was all outside, just hanging out, chilling, and I was just like, seriously, it's cool. It's cool with the raves and the, you know, all that stuff. But it's hilarious to me. Like I said, I'm a people watcher, so I watch everything that goes on.
Yeah, the profile was crazy.
Yeah, and what kills me the most is if you gave these people a chance to perform, and you give them the opportunity to bring a crowd. You're going to make money at your bar. Oh, they don't buy nothing at the bar. Well, if your drinks wasn't so damn high, then maybe you'd make some money.
Right.
You know, so like I said, I've watched this scene, and I'm sure Blizz and I know Relloe has too seen this scene when it was at its best.
Yeah.
And you know, and now you look at it and you're like,
that shit phony.
That's why everybody want to get out of Baltimore.
Right.
When they start really making moves, like they got to go outside of here. That's why this place, we never going to go this way,
Look how people are losing the heart of the music, you know. We don't do music for a message. We don't do music for a purpose anymore. People want to do it for a certain amount of likes, a certain amount of views. They want to, all these fake events going on where they're not doing nothing. Nothing's coming of it because no one can feel the music. At the end of the day, if people can't feel your music, it's not going to go anywhere.
And that's like, that brings me to the fact that, like, I don't listen to the radio. I don't listen unless it's 90s hip hop. Unless it's Chris Brown, yeah, I love him.
Right.
Trey Songz, I love him. You know, I listen to Kevin Gates. Kevin Gates is not even he's not even an industry artist. Like he's still, you know, he's still underground.
Right.
And that's another thing. I don't like calling local artists because I think that gives you kind of a stigma. I like to call them, if I call them local, they're underground artists.
Right.
Because the way I look at it, you guys are underground because you're doing the music that you want to do, not what the industry is telling you. And I got into this conversation before. It was like, well, that's what the kids want. They want that what they hear on the radio. I'm like, who told you that?
Right.
The industry is telling these kids this is what they want to listen to.
Right.
So you're going to have these mumble rap, you know, like I got into a discussion last week with a guest. And like he brought up Designer and Yachty and whoever else. Like my ears hurt. My ears hurt when I listen to that.
I say it's like you got like a permanent hunch on your rap because I said like when it comes to people that mumble, I say it's just because they don't know how to sit up straight. So every time they go to the studio, they're like this.
I just you know I would much rather like if you look at my phone, you'll see old, like, what was I listening to the other day? Oh, yesterday I was listening to Sean Price, and I was listening to The Lox, and I was listening to Jadakiss, and I was listening to Kevin Gates, and I was listening to Baltimore Big Steve, and you know what I mean? So I'm just listening. I listen to these people that you're not going to hear on the radio. You may hear them on the satellite radio.
Right.
You might. You want to sit in? Cause
I'm one of the artists.
And your name?
I'm Heff Musiq.
Oh, well, we got Heff Musiq. Okay. I figured he was. I didn't want. Right. We just bring it on up. But that's why, like I said, like that's why I like local artists because you all do the music that you want to do. You know what I mean? And
That's how it gotta be.
you know, like. I understand. I've had artists tell me, well, you know, I got to do a song at least to get people's attention. So I got to do a song that like what they hear on the radio. Okay, do a mixtape like that. I want to hear you. I don't want to hear if I want to listen to. Like I said, I've always said, y'all remember when Test Me used to sound like Lil Wayne?
Test Me on my song I just sang.
Test Me is also on a song with Baltimore Big Steve and Fatboy Deezy. And I didn't know it was Test Me.
But they did sound a lot alike.
Right,
and
remember?
that was the young Test Me though.
Right. When when I first came in the scene,
the studio was on 6th Street.
Yeah.
Years ago. And Deep Flow.
Yeah.
And that I know what you're talking about though.
Yeah, but he you know, if I wanted to, like, I just use him as one of the people. But if I want to listen to Lil Wayne, I'll go listen to Lil Wayne.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I know Relloe sounds like Relloe. He doesn't sound like Chris Brown. He's not going to sound like Trey Songz. He's going to sound like Relloe.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, so.
You gotta have your own style out here.
Right.
I mean, everybody trying to sound like what's on the radio, but you ain't gotta do that shit. Like,
I'm not
Right.
I try my best to not sound like.
That's why I don't, and it's no disrespect to no other artist, right?
right.
But that's why I don't listen to nobody else.
And I've heard a lot of people say that.
I don't listen to rap music. Like, I don't, because if I like your song that much,
then you might
I start to slide like
Into your flow.
and I can't do that. So I just gotta stay in my lane and do me.
Right.
Like, and then you might see somebody, they be like, "Did you check the mixtape out?" And I gotta find a polite way of being like,
I don't mean no harm.
But it's no disrespect. It's like, But I refuse to try to sound like somebody else. I'm gonna be Blizz all day.
And that's what I like. I like being able to play a song and go, that, you know, who is that? Or that's so and so. Like when I hear Baltimore Big Steve, I know that's Steve, even because he's using more auto-tune now too. But I know that's Steve. And when I hear Billy live, I know that's Billy live. You know, and that's what I used to tell Billy too, is the reason why I liked his music was because I like music I can feel. Like, I may not have gone through the same things you've gone through, Blizz, but there might be a song that you have and I can feel those words because it's something similar, or you know, I've been around.
Well,
you know what I mean?
today,
I like things that I can feel.
Today, like, you're gonna see, like, on my new mixtape, like, everything is so much deeper now. Like, I just did a whole mixtape, and I did use like I jacked a few beats from people.
That's what you're supposed to do.
That were hard, and I did my thing. So you know what I mean, like, but the message in it is real. Like, ain't nothing you're gonna hear on my new CD fabricated. It ain't false. Like, you can go on case search and find it. You can go like, anybody that knows me, like, I done did it all, man. Sold drugs, did drugs, like, but today, like, that's not where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a bigger picture than that. And I'm on to some bigger things. I'm actually starting a youth outreach program called Drop the Gun, Pick Up the Mic.
Okay.
For young people, man. That's
almost like what is that? The one that Chris Marcel has. Beats Not Bullets.
Yeah, something like that. But we gonna do. I got like mentors in church who help. I'm putting it together to do, like, not just music, but like flag football, baseball.
He's a part of something like